Hi, welcome back to Velo News TV. I'm Neil Rogers here at the Tour of Missouri with BMC rider Scott Moninger. Scott, you've seen a lot of races over the span of your career. Talk a little bit about the Tour of Missouri, first-year event. How does it stack up? What are your impressions?
It's been surprisingly good so far. I mean, the crowds we had in Kansas City were amazing, and even some of the smaller towns along the route have been really, the whole population of the town seems like it's come out and supported it, and it's good to see. I think whoever's in charge of the PR and spreading the word for this tour has done a really good job. So, my feeling is if you can sell the show here in Missouri, you ought to be able to do it almost anywhere in the U.S. So, this is not necessarily a hotbed for cycling, but the crowd's been great and the fans have been great, and I think it's going to be around for a while, this particular tour.
It's funny because when the race was first announced, I remember thinking, Tour of Missouri, it's flat. I mean, how eventful is that going to be? But actually, it seems like they've done a good job between the rollers and the wind and the difficult time trial to make a pretty demanding stage race.
Yeah, I don't think you would really, having ridden a number of days here, I don't think I would consider this flat. It's certainly not mountainous, but it's not flat. It's real, like you said, sort of undulating terrain, and with the wind and just this time of year, I think it's plenty hard enough, for sure.
Stage 2 proved to be the decisive day. Break gets away, 12 guys get 15 minutes. Talk about what you saw in the peloton, who was working, who wasn't, who gained, obviously, who lost, your perspective on that breakaway.
Well, it was just a really aggressive day to start with. I mean, the first 90 minutes, it was just attack after attack after attack, and I don't think anybody thought we could, maintain that pace for the entire 5 hours, 5.5 hours. So something was going to go, and when it did, it was just gas off right away. I mean, the break got 5 minutes within the first 20 minutes of being away. So, the field put up a bit of resistance initially from the Toyota United team trying to chase and keep things together, but they were a man down and just had a lot of things kind of working against them. So they definitely needed some assistance that day in order to really control things. And I just don't know if it was ever in the cards for that day to be a field sprint. I think that was the day that everyone kind of knew the race was probably going to be decided. Going into the time trial, a lot of guys don't want to show their hands too much and burn too many matches, and so they're holding back, and just a lot of kind of things conspiring to make it where an early breakaway was going to go and stay away, at least in my opinion. I wasn't a bit surprised that it went down the way it did.
Yeah, and I guess the question that I've been burning to ask you for a while now, we've talked over the years how much longer you'll be racing, and every year, what are you doing next year? And I mean, 2 years ago you won the NRC title, and it seemed like Scott could go for another 10 years, but you've kind of kept it on low profile, haven't made a big deal about it, but I know that you're not coming back to race next year.
Correct. Yeah, tomorrow will be my last race as a professional. So it's been a long time coming, and it's going to be a tough adjustment for me. But I'm looking at it more as a graduation rather than a retirement. I'm kind of moving into another phase of cycling. So you're still going to see lots of me. I'm just not going to be on the cockpit of a bike or in the cockpit of a bike, but I'll still be certainly around the circuit, and you'll see lots of me. So. Like I said, it's going to be an adjustment. I've been racing bikes for 26 years. I've been professional for 17, so it's definitely very ingrained in everything I do, and my full operations from day to day have always been about being a professional cyclist. So it's going to be, I think, an adjustment, but I'm looking forward to it. New challenges, and like I said, it's more of a graduation is how I'm looking at it rather than a retirement. I'm too young to retire from anything really, but this sport does have kind of a terminal limit on just how long you can do it, and I feel like I've maximized that. I'll be 41 next month, and I've had a great run, and I certainly have no regrets and no complaints. It's been a great career, so I'm happy to go out while I'm still enjoying the sport and still mildly competitive, and yeah, no regrets whatsoever.
So tomorrow morning you'll be kitting up. It's your last day as a professional cyclist, but can we expect to see you racing around the Colorado scene, maybe like we still see Ned Overend out there from time to time? And do you think you'll still be pinning a number on once in a while?
Initially, no. I think I'll pretty much go cold turkey. I know a lot of guys do end up sort of getting their second wind after being away from the sport for a while and getting back into it. So, I'm not going to say never will I race a bike again, but I think initially the first 2 or 3 years I'm going to really focus on not doing that. So, so we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, no, never say die. But yeah, don't look for me at Stasio next February or March for sure.